Good morning. I'm walking through a house that my buyers are closing on tomorrow. It's here in Adrian, Michigan, and I wanted to talk to you about the buying process and a couple things my buyers liked. Okay, one of the first things they liked is this huge porch. What a fantastic porch this is! It's extra wide. The other thing they wanted when they were looking for a home is a lot of light. So in this particular house, they had a lot of light, a lot of windows, a lot of light in this house. Look at that. All these rooms have a lot of light. So let me go around. There we go. You can see, and you can see some furniture in the house. This buyer specifically needed some furniture, so the furniture can be left. It was negotiated part of the deal. So what's the first thing a person does? The first thing a person does is finds a good buyer agent that they're comfortable working with. That's the first thing they do. The second thing is pre-qualified. Okay, a good agent's going to tell them, hey, we need to get pre-qualified. So they typically, what happens is, in my case is, I give them 3 different lender numbers and 3 lenders that I worked with before, and they call the lenders up and they get pre-qualified. The third thing is we go out and look at houses. And I always tell the buyers, one of the most important things is let's look at the houses, but let's look at location first. Is the location going to be suitable for you? Let's look at the basics of the house. Are the number of bedrooms enough? The bathrooms enough? Start with that. Colors of walls and stuff can come later. Of course, when it comes to floor coverings, those are very expensive. So you want to make sure, depending on what you're looking at, that the flooring is in pretty good shape. This is hardwood floor all the way throughout, by the way. So once we find a home and we get the offer accepted, then it's time for us to do our due diligence. So at that point, I give them 3 or 4 numbers to have to have an inspection. So so instead of having like in this case, they wanted Uncle Ray or somebody to come and do the inspection, I tell them in a professional, the difference is this. Uncle Ray will come through, look at the house, look at some things. They might be a good contractor, but they're really not set up to do inspections. Where if you hire a professional inspector that's certified, they're actually going to do an inspection, and they have a checklist they follow, and they hit all the plugs, they look in the attic, they look for the insulation, they look at the wiring, and they make recommendations. They're not electricians, they're not mechanical inspectors. They make recommendations. Hey, this is what we need to do. I need you to go and hire an electrician to come through and look at the electrical. So the other thing I always tell buyers is this, and not all inspectors do it, and it's probably better if just a sewer guy does it, but either have a straight sewer inspection. If it's in the city, you want a sewer inspection, or if it's in the country, you definitely want a septic inspection. Those can be, extremely high hidden costs. So you want to make sure those are inspected. So once we get an accepted offer, you pass the inspection deadline, an appraiser comes through, the bank hires the appraiser, you pay for it if you're the buyer, and they look at the home, they compare it to other homes in the area, and they rate the condition and send it back to the bank. Either it's in value or it's not in value, according to what the person paid for it. I want to show you these doors. Look at these beautiful doors. I grew up in a house like this with doors, and I remember one time I was playing football in the living room when I wasn't supposed to be. I broke one of those window panes out, and when I was growing up, boy, did I get whipped on that one. But anyway, getting back to houses. So anyway, we get past the inspection, everything's going well. At that point, we renegotiate if we have to. Then at that point, it's in the bank's hands. So we're day 20, day 22, and then it takes about 10 more days to close. it takes 10 more days, 10 to 12 more days to close while the bank figures out what's in there. You know, they need to document more bank statements. They need to verify your employment. This is one thing, do not change employers. I had one person like a few weeks ago, which is unusual. You know, one of the parties quit their job, not in this particular house. It didn't tell the other one. They do check employment the day of closing or the day before closing. So it's very important not to change employers. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this house. I wanted to talk to you about the buying process. So one of the things, I think everybody who knows me knows that I love the outdoors. And I'm always doing something outdoors. Sorry, I should have had this open already. I know this is a little goofy. But I wanted to show you something here in this house. See how this yard plays out. Let me turn it around. See how this yard plays out here, and then it goes back. That's the neighbor's garage. The yard goes off this way. So one of the things I told the buyer that I'm pretty darn sure this is bamboo back here, and this is on the buyer's lot. So I'm not certain if they wanted to hide the neighbors but anyway, I told them that this is very invasive and it takes over. But anyway, if you have any questions about the buying process, you know, my name is David Corder. I'm with the Aero team at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, and I hope this information, my number is 517-403-9710. I hope this information helped. Thank you.